what just happened during the break? If you're new to our show, Greg Cote of the Miami Herald is doddering, and you can click on his column, keep him in the newspaper industry, which is flourishing. Just click on the column, and boom, Greg Cote will be thankful for your time.
No, I'm fine. You got to get this looked at, man.
You got to get it looked at.
No, I'm fine.
You're ruining the show with all of your coughing. Okay, we've been enduring this. We've been enduring this for 7 days with you. Your wife's complaining about you keeping her up.
Good Lord. All night I'm doing that. No, I'm fine. All night long. All night long.
Yeah. All right, we're back there, Mike. Go ahead and get All Night Long. I'm sure Greg Cote will sing it.
No, that's out of my register.
Is it?
Yeah. My voice doesn't go that high now.
The end of the segment, the end of the last segment. Greg Cote for years doesn't know when the end of the hour is, even though there was a time on television I was wearing a baseball cap with a clock on it. The same
Bring it
time.
back.
It wasn't helpful. At the end of segments, our whole goal is to make him forget that it's the end of the hour, and he always steps into it. And
subterfuge.
We are now the Globetrotters against him. We are the Globetrotters. We are working from all angles. We've done it on the phone. We've done it from Marlins games. We've had relatives do it. There are very few Cotes who haven't done it to Greg Cote. So this is the game, and me and Stugots have been playing it for a long time. And at the end of this segment, I'm just tossing this story to Stugots to get him to tell a story quickly. And our only goal is to clip Greg Cote on the end of the segment.
Yeah.
So please explain to me and the audience after Mike plays this, explains, because I know you were looking at the clock, and for years you've been putting your hairy forearm over the clock where Cote can see it while talking. You have done this for years to conceal this gag.
Have you noticed, Greg?
That's one of my telltale signs. The left forearm.
But he had no idea. I know the look on his face. I've slaughtered it for you, the listening public. I know the look. He had no idea. Greg Cote was out of it. He was disoriented. He was fascinated by Stugots' story. But Stugots got so caught up in remembering his heyday as a cold caller.
A good time.
that Stugots totally forgot about the clock as well, because he's just sitting here. It's one of the weirdest things I've ever seen him do in a catalog, a library that is larger than all the libraries in this country of dumb stuff Stugots has done.
I was giving the guys tips. All you need to do, if you get a guy on the phone, you keep him there for 10 seconds or longer, you got him. And so when I used to cold call up in Boca slinging bonds, I used Murray! Little tennis, little golf, Arnold Palmer, I'll meet you for lunch. And I would get him at 100,000. He's dead. That's terrible. Listen, unfair to me that you threw it to me, not on one, but two stories with about 18 seconds to go. If I didn't know better, I think you were trying to get me on the hard network out. I'll be honest with you.
It sounded like
two stories, and I had about 15 minutes to go.
It's my fault.
It sounded like your story wasn't going to end for another 10 minutes.
Not going to carry the whole hour with that story. I mean,
when was this story going to end? Like, I'd like for it to end now, and I don't think we have enough time in the rest of the show.
By the way, it's a fine what you just did to Dan blaming him for your mistake.
Oh, that's a fine? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. But what if he was purposely trying to get me there? You guys don't know. Do some investigation. Do some research.
You can't blame that on me.
All right, I owe you money.
I want to know if you closed the deal with Murray.
I always close the deal with Murray. I would purposely call Murray's in Boca. Murray! I got no money on me.
Does that work? Roy, what are you pointing at him for?
there?
Roy, what did you see?
Oh, he has money. He's got money.
$3.
What? Murray! I mean, I would just go through the phone book looking for Murray's in Boca and Aventura.
So that's you getting excited about talking to Murray?
Yeah, because if you keep Murray on the phone for more than 10 seconds, you've got Murray. Because the next thing you know, you're meeting him up in Boca, you're playing a little tennis, you're having an Arnold Palmer, some lunch and all that. Murray! And then he gives you a $250,000 check. That's how it works.
This sounds like a crime.
That's what I used to do. Not crime. I was selling municipal bonds. I wasn't selling crime. There was nothing criminal about it. Murray! Me and Murray.
He
just shooting
listened
the
so
breeze.
poorly that you said that's a crime, and he steamrolled you with, that's what I used to do. Like,
Murray!
Just shouting.
Saved it up. Pulled it back.
Shouting about his criminal behavior.
Yeah.
So what the hell's the end of the story? What would you do with Murray? The story that clipped you here, what are we working on?
Well, the cold calling to get Lewis Brinson into the All-Star game, which we're going to do, I was just telling the guys, keep anyone on the phone for longer than 10 seconds and you got them. You just do what you got to do and say what you got to say, but you also have to know your audience. So for Murray and Boca or Evan Turner, it really doesn't matter. Murray! The language that Murray speaks is tennis, Arnold Palmer's, and golf. Murray!
I'm like, how does that work in sales? Please explain to me how that is good at sales.
He doesn't. He's lying. He's a liar.
Murray! I got a $250,000 check that says otherwise.
I believe him. How could you guys possibly doubt him?
And this wasn't a crime?
No, it's straight business, man. I was selling municipal bonds, tax-free. Cold calling. Murray's. Murray!
All right, we got to do this. We got to cold call people with Stugots.
You okay?
I mean, it's contagious.
Whoa,
his coughing. I told you before.
My God.
The coughing is contagious.
No, I'm fine. No, I'm fine. Don't worry about it.
The coughing is contagious.
Time for some ads.
No, I'm fine.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. It's the coughing contagious. I feel like we could get the entire national audience coughing if we keep playing enough sounds, and I keep getting this from Cody.
No, I'm fine.
Don Le Batard.
Do you mind cleaning that up and tearing up papers and stuff when we're not on the air?
Stugots.
I did it without really thinking. It was far from the mic. Didn't think it'd pick it up. As a kid, I used to make the sound of ripping paper. I used to delight my friends with that.
Mm-hmm.
No, so you can go like that.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugots on ESPN Radio.
Well, my friends, the time has come. Raise the roof and have some fun.
Slow down.
The
Work to be done. Let the music play on. Play on.
I'm going to start over again. Sorry.
Hold on, we got to start again. We can't. We're not allowed
It's
because
too
of
slow. This
because
song.
of rights feeds.
Oh,
The hip hop's too fast, and this is too slow.
I need a mid-tempo. That's why I love country music. It's all two-step.
Here it comes. Feel it.
Come on. Motto.
Da-da-da. Reading. Long. All night long, all night, all night, all night long. Zagaki.
I don't know what. For the love of God, that's it. Stop the music.
All right.
Christ Almighty!
Not one of my favorite songs. Not in my wheelhouse.
You already said it was your favorite. It's the only reason we played it.
You know, the Richie song I do sort of like is where he talks about dancing on the roof. That's not bad.
Dancing on the ceiling?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, you don't know these songs well enough to be singing them on the radio.
Oh,
please.
what a feeling to be dancing on the roof.
Feeling. I guess if you're dancing on the roof, that's pretty neat, too.
Can you imagine if Lionel Richie, the original writer of that song, came up with roof, and he's like, oh, it's so close. It could have been ceiling. It rhymes with feeling. The roof. Dancing on the roof is what you just called that, Lionel Richie?
One of his favorites.
Stealing roof.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to mistake those two words. I wasn't sure what was what.
Ceiling and roof.
Yeah. I was also an adult before I realized that the word misled wasn't pronounced misled, which I don't like to admit.
Happy 62nd birthday.
Thank you.
To Kenny G.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care.
Yours was 10 years ago.
Will you wait until he's done? Are you forgetting how to do the show? Like that, we've been doing this for how long?
Murray!
Like, are you forgetting how to do the show? We're so inside that you're that oblivious?
I'm sorry.
Oh, what a feeling when you're dancing on the roof.
Stugots, how is it possible that just happened? Explain to me how it could be happy 62nd birthday, Kenny G, and you know what we do when that happens, and you know why it's funny. And it's not just because Stephen A. Smith says happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. I don't care. Good luck.
I thought you were going to do it again right there.
No.
How? What happens to you? Do you short circuit?
I'm on shaky ground right now. I'm not going to do anything to further infuriate you, man.
This is who I work with. This is Mike. It's not sustainable. Mike.
Murray!
This is who I've tied my allegiances to. This.
Murray!
The guy, someone explain to me how that works in sales. How is Stugots good at sales? To me, it's just as absurd as that working in sales. Somebody calls you and this works. I mean, the two of them are just as absurd. Saying someone's name like that, how does that get you a sale?
Murray!
How do you get human connection out of that?
Let me tell you the bond game, okay? This is the municipal bond game. Tax freeze, by the way, okay? Let me tell you the game, okay? The game is, because who's buying bonds? It's older guys. It's Murray up in Boca Raton. That's who's buying the bonds, man. And so what do you do? And because he's old, chances are Murray a little bit lonely. A little bit lonely.
No!
Dan, I'm just telling you. Yeah, I'm telling you. And so you call him Murray, and you know his kids are tired of him. They moved out of the house. You know, they don't want to deal with Murray anymore. And so you become his friend, and you go up, you play some tennis, you have a little BLT, and then you have an Arnold Palmer, and, maybe, 9 holes of golf, and then you got yourself $500,000. Boom. Murray!
Not how that works. It can't be.
It is.
It can't be how that works.
I was really good at it.
That's despicable.
Why? I was really friends with him.
Why? You can't be friends with somebody.
I'll be friends with whomever hands me $500,000.
Damn right.
Or what their name is.
You can't sincerely be a friend of Murray if this is what you shout when you call him on the phone.
Murray! I mean, you got to shout. He's hard of hearing.
That's what a friend shouts.
Murray! And that's how you talk to your friends. You're right. Murray! That is Straight Talk. It is brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless. Nationwide coverage on America's largest and most dependable 4G LTE networks.
The Kendrick Perkins story, Stugots.
Oh, yeah.
How funny is this? Steph Curry's got bad ankles. Kendrick Perkins, I don't know how to properly describe how he was sitting on the bench in a suit. But, I mean, how do you describe? Let me for the radio audience that perhaps hasn't seen how Kendrick Perkins was sitting. For the love of God.
No, I'm fine.
It's two rodeo clowns. I will never win. Like, I can't this way. I can't. Like, what are you guys,
Murray!
What is the company asking me to do? I cannot work with this level of immorality and incompetence.
Dan Le Batard.
Greg, are you going to say anything? Or are you just going to sit there checking the internet?
When I have something to say, I say it. What I was thinking of as you said that was that I think Black History Month is also split into 2 half months, which is terrible.
That's not true.
It's the first half and the second half of February.
There you go.
Right.
Stugots.
No, it's February into March, isn't it?
It's February.
No, it's
Hang on.
Good contribution, though, when you decided to talk. That was good.
Black History
Chris,
Month.
yeah, you're... Greg.
I'm like a dog with a bone on this. I'm wrong. Okay.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugots on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Guest on the Dan Le Batard Show appear via the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The White House has rescinded their invitation to the Philadelphia Eagles. Aaron Judge has set a record for most strikeouts for a hitter across a doubleheader with 8. And finally, Houston bass producer and Rap-A-Lot Records CEO Jay Prince says he stepped in to stop the Drake-Pusha T beef. According to Jay Prince, he personally called Drake to ask him not to release what Jay Prince described as an overwhelming musical response to Pusha T's The Story of Adidon. One that would have taken aim at Kanye as well. After speaking with Kanye, he didn't want this. I saw this going to a place that I feel would have ended his career if Drake would have put out this song and he had on him. I don't know. Fine. Prince explained while a guest on Sway in the morning. This story's annoying.
I mean, the story's annoying?
Reading's annoying.
The story's annoying.
Who cares? Drake, Pusha T, Kanye.
It's pretty interesting.
I'm fine.
If you say so. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in the Sports Center on ESPN Radio all throughout the day. I'm tired of it. No one cares, man. A lot of people care about Drake and Kanye.
Yes. Is that a thing that you just said seriously?
Hey, it's Jordan and LeBron, please.
Wait. Yes, there are a lot of people who care about Drake and Kanye.
Yeah.
What kind of moronic thing is that to say?
Debatable. Waste of time. I mean, listen, Kanye, this whole is like an act, you know? This whole thing, he just does it for publicity. He really does. They both do. That's what they do.
The top 7 songs on Spotify streaming and Apple Music are all 7 songs on Kanye's EA album.
See, it's working.
Amazing.
Bunch of fools.
Because you don't care about Kanye and Drake, nobody does.
It's me lashing out because I couldn't read the story, really. Is
all
what
right,
it is.
well,
I'm certain it's interesting to some people.
This allows me to show the audience something behind the curtain. I want to show people, like, some of you are very new to what we do around here. And so just let me explain the joke one time, even though I should never explain the joke. I should never explain the joke. Let me just explain one time, this one last time. On Tuesdays, here's the deal. Stugots just articulated this during the break, Mike. He just said, you know what the name of this show should be? Because of the way the last segment ended, with the two of them just being awful, just awful. One of them awful at radio, one of them awful at human decency.
Thank you.
The joke is, Stugots just said it. If this were the sitcom, it'd be the name. I'm trying to work here. Stugots just said it. The segment ended and Stugots looked at me like, God, I'm so annoying. I'm awful. The name of this show, because it's 290. It's like trying to wrangle 2 kids at the supermarket, and one of them's evil. And I'm sitting here trying to do the show. So I'm the straight man. Like, we all know who we are. They know where to annoy me and how to annoy me. And the problems with this show start when I get angry because they're so bad.
Watch the tone, please. That's $5.
But Stugots is like, at the end of that segment, is like, Stugots is great. Dan, see how great it is when you react that way and you're having fun with it? And I'm trying to work here.
So that's the working title, 80-20?
I'm just saying the whole thing has worked this way as a spoof, hiding in the shadows at ESPN. We don't even know who listens to us. We keep getting promoted. Like, the whole thing has worked. We're a spoof inside the machine. Stop bleeping it up. Like, we've arrived, Stugots. We arrived. We're here at ESPN making fun of everything at ESPN.
Yeah.
Do better tomorrow.
That's another name for the show. I'll give you credit for that one.
Just for Tuesdays, Guillermo, do you like that as the name for the show? I'm trying to work here. On Tuesdays only.
Yeah, it's a good name. Tuesdays are the best days. You just fit in, Dan. Everybody's having fun.
Media's dying all over the place. Everyone's hanging on by a thread.
No, I'm fine.
We're in the middle of the machine. Media's dying. It's coughing. It's wheezing.
Literally.
Old man dinosaur over here is the representation of print media. We're inside of the machine making fun of the machine. Do it right. I'll pay the $5.
Yeah, glad you said it. It's closer to 10. I mean, I gave you a warning. Usually when there's a warning, we go from, like, the warning, it's 5 if you do it, and I don't warn you. But once I've warned you, you should know better. Now it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Oh, man. I'll try to do better.
Happy 49th birthday to Brian McKnight.
Happy birthday to him.
I mean, it's Kanye. It's just like enough already. I mean, geez, Taylor Swift. I'll get in a beef with her. I'll get in a beef with this guy, that one, this one, that one. Boom, top 7 songs on the charts. And we all fall for it every single time. It's such a joke. Oh, please. Kanye. Oh, he's a little crazy, a little off. Oh, we need some help. Top 10 songs. Worth $1 billion. Genius is what he is.
Mike,
we're all suckers.
Suckers, S-U-C-K-A-S.
I don't know why it came out that way.
Why did it come out that way? Does anybody in our audience...
Trying to do better.
Yeah.
You can't even laugh without sounding like you're a wheezing lung that's deflating.
You're trying to cut through it. No, I'm fine.
It's not necessary. Just go home and get it checked. It's not... Oh, for the love of God.
I'm fine.